What's happening, everyone? Well, behind us we have this lovely banner that you can only see just a portion of because we're zooming in here. But this was our NAMM banner from the 2020 NAMM show. And we're flashing back, so NAMM is now just a couple weeks away. We are not going to NAMM. That's a little bit of what this video is about, kind of just a little bit of a flashback journey from the 2020 NAMM show when things were a lot more normal in the world. We were hanging at the NAMM show, meeting many of you guys there, letting you know about our pickups, hanging out. Great time, fantastic. We'll put some pictures of that NAMM show. It was kind of a whirlwind. It feels like kind of not that far away, but then sometimes it feels like 10 years ago in a way because of how crazy the world has been in the last few years. But we've all seen the NAMM show. We've seen maybe NAMM trying to reinvent itself. You know, obviously this show was canceled. Now NAMM is landing in all these weird time frames. Again, we're here looking at middle of April for a NAMM show, which is super weird, I think, for everyone. Yeah. So coming up on this NAMM show, I think that there's a lot of stuff that we'll cover in this video. Again, just wanting to turn the camera on and say hello, but also just kind of let you guys know our thought process in not going to the NAMM show this year. Kind of how maybe the last few years has kind of formulated that for us. But yeah, NAMM show in general, like, what are you thinking about the NAMM show and kind of like feeling about it? Because I'm sensing we're both kind of like unsure, you know?
Yeah, I'm so thrilled we got to go to that one, and we had no idea that was going to be like the last NAMM show of its kind.
Yeah,
I think it's super cool that, you know, we made the effort to make it and be there. It's like we got to meet Seymour Duncan. You know, for us that's like huge.
Yeah.
But like so many people there, and just like so many like rooms and so many, it's like you definitely hear about like the noise floor, right? Like it's, you got to be there to experience it. It's magical. But
I don't know if magical is like the right word.
That's the only place in the world that you can get like that. Well, and especially now, you know, it's like everything is now going to be kind of different. And I even think about kind of like where we were as like a shop, kind of like operations wise back then, and I think about where we are now, and it's just like things are like definitely a lot more complex. And for one like thing, you know, we did have to be out of the shop for the week, and being as small as it is, like that is like a huge, you know, that takes off a big chunk of work and time. And so, you know, I guess it was one of those things that it was good that we went, but we definitely like felt like, oh, we were gone for the week. I think it was super effective to go, and I mean, we just needed to go and do it, and especially the way things turned out, like now we would have never been to the NAMM show. I think, it seems like more and more a lot of people are kind of, they have to think twice about it, whereas maybe before it was kind of like, well, got to go to the NAMM show. At least if I'm not going to both, I'm going to one of them. Got to go to the bigger one. So everyone has had to like rethink, you know, reevaluate that question, like, oh, let's go, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I wonder, I mean, from our perspective, again, that was kind of 2020. Okay, it's 2020, it's this big year. We're going to go to the NAMM show. We're going to take our guitars or take our pickups, and we're just going to like, it's going to change the entire course of Porter pickups. Again, putting a lot of hope in this one event, which was a big event. It's a big deal. Again, really fun to meet everyone, really fun to do that. But again, with the pandemic hitting kind of just weeks after we got back, like the dust was settling, we were kind of getting the NAMM hangover, you know, finished, and it was like all these deals were like, you know, a lot of handshaking, kind of like, yeah, let's do this, and let's launch this new line, or let's work with this guitar company, let's work with this artist, and we're working on all these different angles, and then we're heading into the spring, into the summer, and we're like, okay, sweet, all this stuff is going to go live. We're just going to do this and this and this, and then everything just shut down. So for the last couple of years, we've been kind of figuring like, does this make sense for us? And it makes sense from a networking standpoint. It probably makes sense to still have like a booth and some kind of representation of what we do at Porter. But again, like you were mentioning before, our clients have changed, our revenue streams have changed a little bit. So we're not necessarily going there for like just to get music stores, or just to get this, or just to get that. There's a lot of pieces to the puzzle, and it started to feel like it doesn't make as much sense as we've looked at it from, you know, you have to look at things from 5 different angles, right? And I'm looking at it and like, well, it's going to cost me the same amount to go. if not a little bit more for lodging, because it's kind of like spring Disney, you know, all this stuff. There's like, I mean, I think it's spring break for some people even, so it's like going to be a little bit of a chaos thing down there in LA.
Yeah.
It's not going to cost me any less. It's going to cost just as much, if not more, for lodging. I know there's going to be less people there. And I've already looked at the show map, and it's very, very small section of one of the upper, if you've been to NAMM before, you know, hall A, B, C, D, and then E was the basement, which we were in. The basement with some really cool boutique companies, a lot of like overseas companies down there. We were in the Innovators Showcase, which was kind of just a way to like kind of put the new guys down down in the corner sort of thing. But I'm looking at the show map, and I'm seeing, okay, like a portion maybe, or most of maybe hall A, I think it was, one of the end halls of the upstairs is going to be guitar related. And then the rest of the halls are going to kind of be, you know, the various things like the drums and the percussion. And so like all the acoustic instruments are coming upstairs, all the, you know, electric boutique stuff, you know, some of the big brands are not coming. So I just looking at that and seeing, man, this show map, like they keep saying, you know, you got to get your stuff in for the show map deadline, and then you just see it's like the show is smaller and smaller and smaller. So I'm kind of in a wait and see mode. I think we're in really like observe what's going on. We're definitely going to miss some of our friends that will be at the show, but that's just that's kind of where we're at. Again, balancing the cost to get there. You know, it's just getting more and more expensive to do anything, to get anywhere. And so again, is that like, okay, it's going to cost, I think, you know, somewhere between $13,000 and $15,000 was the cost of our 2020 NAMM show. And that's all the lodging and the getting the crate shipped and all the things. And that was about a shoestring budget as we could accomplish. And so we're looking at that, and if we have that money to put into other things, maybe we want to develop new products. Maybe we want to do more marketing stuff. Maybe we want to do digital marketing stuff. So it's kind of just a game that we're like looking at, like, do we want to play this game still? Does it make sense for us to play it? So I don't know, just from like your perspective and what the show is seeming to look like. Again, I don't want to be a downer, but I don't think that the NAMM show is going to be what it was, like you said. I know a lot of the big cheeses are not going this year. A lot of our peers in the boutique pedal industry, in the guitar industry, they're not going either. So I wonder if there's going to be less buyers too, right?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, and it's fun to go and hang out with your buddies, and it's like, that's why we're all like, right, we're all doing this because we all have to have jobs and numbers and stuff, but it's like...
You don't have to have jobs, but...
But it's like we do this because it's fun. We like this, and it's fun to go and talk. I mean, I still can't get over the fact talking to Seymour Duncan and some of the people that we got to talk to, and but yeah, it's just different, and like there's that element of like, you know, the FOMO, the, oh no, we're not going to the show. Who's going to be there? What opportunity is going to arise? Like, this is that industry. It's so just like these opportunities, and you have to kind of like find them and pull on the thread. And, but it is also the thing where like you got to take care of your house, right? You we got to make sure that everything's good here. Like with all of the pandemic stuff and the supply chain stuff, like I've noticed a lot of the stuff is just a lot different than we used to get it, you know, and stuff is more expensive. So and you know, to me, it makes more sense to like, well, let's just like stock some more, you know, stuff, or, you know, kind of keep, you know, hunkering down and just kind of keep working. And, you know, the 2020 show was, and you had been to a few NAMM shows, just kind of.
Yeah, as like a wanderer, basically.
But, and so like the 2020 show was the first time that we were out in full force, I guess. And I think it was good to like, you know, like we're here, guys, you know, we're serious about this. We're passionate. Like, come talk to us. We're available.
Right.
And, you know, so I think that like has an element of legitimacy, you know, it's like, we're there, we made it, we made the track, you know, but it is like, we just want to make sure that we're taking care of, you know, ourselves and the customers and the people that are ordering stuff and all of that jazz. But I think, you know, we do feel like, oh, we wish we could go. I remember when you were like, well, like, I think it was at the top of the year, it's kind of like, well, maybe we're going to make an effort to go this year. And then just kind of like when it was looking like, I don't know, you know, it's kind of like, well, I don't know if we can make it happen. it's just kind of like, you roll with the punches,
Yeah,
right?
you're kind of like bummed out, but kind of not at the same time. It's just it is a bit of chaos, and I think going down there again, whatever you do invest, you would like to see that return. And obviously, that's why you're in business to provide cool stuff for guitar players, but revenue has to come in, and so it's that balance of risk, because it still would be a risk to go down there and say, okay, let's do business. I know a couple manufacturers that are really excited. The big guys aren't going to be there because they're like a lot more on the positive side, maybe thinking, well, Taylor's not going to be there, and I'm selling acoustic guitars, so that means now I can do so much better. So there's that side of things too, which is a totally, again, that's the opportunity, right? Where you're like, man, there is an opportunity, but again, are the buyers going to be going? Is it the right time for the music store on the East Coast budget to fly their guys out, to fly 4 guys out in a hotel and all that stuff, even just to come and be an observer of what there is? Or is it easier to pick up the phone and call a company that you want to work with, order your products, and put the money you would have spent in lodging, food, beer, all the stuff like that, back into buying more products to then sell? So I think it's just a numbers game. The finances don't add up for very many people. I know there was a point where people were really throwing a lot of money. Remember those upstairs like showcases where it's just like, millions of dollars they probably spent to entertain and do all that other stuff. And is that coming back? We had this spike of guitar sales for the last couple of years. Things seem to be kind of getting a little bit more rocky and shaky. Is that a good time for the NAMM show? It could be for some people. There's still brands that will be discovered. I know we have some buddies going there, like the Balaguer guitars guys, DSM Humboldt and Vallis guitars from Chile. They've been using the Porter stuff and really going to be going down there and go for it. So some of what I miss maybe is just like being able to support those guys who are already working with us. But I'm not worried about them like changing companies, or that they, it's like I'm not losing the business, and I'm not really gaining the business unless they do good at the show. So me being there is not like moving a needle either way.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, and I might have to kind of be honest about that. But we'd love to know what you guys think of what this NAMM show is going to be like. We definitely have spent a lot of time evaluating it, just thinking through, reminiscing. Obviously, this was a great time, and for any of those that we did meet at that show, man, what a crazy couple of years it's been for us, and what a wild time. We've grown every year. We've worked on a lot of really cool stuff, and we've kind of like been tweaking and refining the business. I think that's one last thing I'll mention, is that we've just been making a lot of internal changes, a lot of decisions about where we want to go as a brand. And I think that stopping and trying to focus on the NAMM show, I know that sounds like I'm being contradictory or whatever, but trying to like say we want to do this with the Porter brand, and I'm not really sure that NAMM is like, the timing of NAMM certainly was not in the cards this year for us to get there just when everything had to line up. I mean, they were wanting you to book booths back in the fall, right? But I'm sure they would still take you if you wanted to drop in last minute, but just all those logistics and stuff like that. So anyways, that's just an overview of what we're thinking about the NAMM show this year. Again, please engage with us in the comments below. I think we've really been enjoying that kind of back and forth, and people really thinking about it. I've heard some people say, well, they should just open it up to the public completely. And I'm like, but that then maybe doesn't work well when you're trying to like sell to a manufacturer, And so there's like, I don't think there's a right solution to what NAMM's going to be. I'm very curious. I will watch a lot of NAMM videos. I will watch the videos of guys running around with their cameras, and I want to get a feel for what the show's going to look like, because that'll give me a lot of information to decide on what we do in the future. So, anything else to add?
Well, just hopefully this didn't sound too negative. If you're going to the NAMM show, we hope it's like a blast, and we hope that you really do make some good connections, and you really like, I guess it just takes like that one person that knows that one person that knows that, and you could, really make a good year for yourself there. So we do hope everybody that goes the best, and just have a good time. And this only works if we all lift each other up, everybody. So don't don't be so mean to everybody. Like just be nice to people.
Remember, the people at NAMM have spent a lot of money to be there. So when you ask them for free stuff, maybe rethink the approach a little bit. But we appreciate you guys being a part of this channel. Again, don't forget to comment below, subscribe to our channel for lots more stuff. If you like this type of video where we're just talking about different subjects, let us know. We don't want to be really long-winded, but I think that when we're looking at these current events, we want to just turn the camera on and we want to talk about them because I think it's something that is real for us as people in the industry, real guys, real people here at Porter that are building this fun stuff for you guys. So thank you guys so much. We'll catch you again on the next video.